Всем привет! Сегодня продолжаем играть диско Elysium.
You're back. Good. What can I help? By love, you did.
Fast, observantly, she is memorizing your badge.
Pleased to meet you, Lieutenant W. Freighter Dubois. I am glad to see a man of high qualification. What can I help you with, Lieutenant Freighter?
A sturdy metal door guards the south. There it is again. There's a spectral scent, sea brine mostly. Years of turmoil, of hopes and dreams, ground beneath the inexorable tides. What do you smell? The first thing that strikes you is the overwhelming brine. You imagine yourself underwater, 100-legged arth, but then the unmistakable reek of seagull shit hits you, buoyed along on the air currents. An acrid melody atop Mulder.
Still smelling for communists, detective? Well, I'll be over here when you're finished.
What the lieutenant thinks is irrelevant. Your politico-olfactory cortex is lighting up like a holiday display. The scent of communism is overwhelming. Certainement. A precocious communist youth. A symbol of a kinder, more hopeful future. Now's your chance to establish contact with...
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural? And what do you know about politics?
The girl erupts in a cackle that seems like...
Oh, that's very nice. The little piggy wants to make sausages. Out of what? His little piggy friends? So, the little piggy is a big bad communist? Sure. I know someone who'd love to talk that ideology. A right communist who runs a mega cool and very secret. He might. No.
The lieutenant let slip a sigh that seems to suggest this turn was utterly predictable. A wicked grin extends.
Oink for me, piggy. Just once. Wrong! This is exactly how I treat my little brother. There, that wasn't so bad, was it?
The lieutenant, needless to...
Sounds like you're really serious about meeting Staban. Staban's group meets only at night. In an old room in these apartments here. It just so happens you're in luck. Poke your snout around sometime after 10 p.m. and you might just find them. Use your little piggy brain. I'm sure someone will let you in. Just not me. Just that he's a real communist. Not like the play acting you've been doing. The rest, you'll have to see for yourself. Oh, smart. See, Stepan's a bit on the paranoid side. He's got all these mega secret passphrases to keep out infiltrators and the like. You can't join the meeting without...
Not to interfere in your personal errand, but I wonder whether it might have something to do with that phrase Mañana mentioned overhearing. Remember Dobreva and Abadanais. Of course you were, Detective. Apologies.
Guess this is what happens when two pigs put their heads together. That's enough. Off with you then. I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners. They'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place.
She throws you a conspiratorial glance, then presses her finger to her lips.
Have you noticed the quiet? Every so often, you might hear a gunshot pierce the air somewhere in Jamrock. But in Martinez, this place is a sepulchre. We'll paint it red. We bring the raucous. You bring the sirens.
This trap's not. The reeds bend forlornly toward the sand. Some tufts have been crushed. Snow covers the broken stalks like a shroud. In the constant, distant song, louder on this part of the coast, nearer somehow. And nothing but locusts in this trap as well. Definitely no crypto.
Empty as all of them. One more of these and we're done. I'm just glad we haven't found some poor cat trapped in one of these.
The reeds bend forlornly. The constant, distant. Nothing has changed.
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer.
The bed is comforting. An old mirror hangs on the wall. On the table, you see a bowl of water.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night.
In your hand, you hold forth. Why? If you insist. The story opens Spillane, 2 days late, desperate to clear.
What's the matter?
The lieutenant, of course, Mullen, Deneuve revealed, not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring. One evening, yes. Comfort as the two love, always, whatever it is, Mullen never hears the words. A blow in your hand, you hold 4/5 of Dick Mullen, and the cover, the tagline.
Are you really reading that, detective? Well, you won't find...
Why? There's truly no point. If you the story, Spillane, 2 days, desperate to clear.
What's the matter, detective?
The lieutenant, of course, Mullen didn't do it. That's the whole premise of the book. And not just secrets. Deneuve revealed, not only is the local police captain in on the amphetamine ring, so is the outwardly, he would certainly, a typical privilege. The kid doesn't exact Torvald. That said, one evening, yes, comfort and pleasure. The warmth of another human's, as the two love, always aim for the whatever it is. When Mullen comes, Mullen trashes the heat is on, and you'll never know what makes you think this isn't the final Dick Mullen case. How do you know this could go on? In your hand, you hold 4/5. Why? There's truly no point. If you the story of Spillane needs 2 days late, desperate to clear his...
What's the matter?
The lieutenant shrugged. Of course, Mullen did. In your hand, you hold...
Waves are beginning to die down.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Привет, Франклин. Лайк поставь. Кора. Как эту пройду, либо и найду другую игру. А у тебя что, есть идеи про новые игры? Dead Space перевода нет. Hogwarts. Лайк уже стоит. Hogwarts купить заранее нельзя, и что-то у меня сомнения по качеству. Hogwarts Legacy. А больше во что еще играть? Новая игра. Какая новая игра? Заслуживает внимания, Франклин.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs.
Scavenged. Battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shaking hand. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression.
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was at.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks you'll have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Не знаю. Я читал, точнее видел обзор, и там сказали, что там боевка скучная, неинтересная. Пиу-пиу, все время бегаешь, одну кнопку жмешь стрелять, уворачиваешься, стреляешь, и все. Я боевка, одно заклинание. Пиу-пиу-пиу.
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect at large. Get on.
Ma'am, please. We...
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red.
Big red key? That's code for the battering ram.
It's a goddamn police shitbag.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
На любителя чего? Бегать, стрелять одной кнопкой, одним заклинанием, уворачиваться? Любишь стрелять одним оружием и вот так вот прыгать, пиу-пиу-пиу, как в Demon Souls из стороны в сторону?
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here. We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing a firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Back up. Back up. Back up. Status unconfirmed.
You are? Mr. Moran? No,
Aggravated assault. Man down.
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now. It has nothing to do with what's
Опять
happening.
Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight это этот самый, жуков бегать гасить. Метроидование.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised. Impersonating a police officer.
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
License and registration. License and registration. Come in, dispatch.
It's not a code, just disjointed words. All right, this is how we do it. You fling the pry bar at her, already darting right, and immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist. No, that won't be necessary. Look closer. The gun, all 3 barrels, red and blue light shining through. It's not loaded.
Huh? My God, I think you're right.
What? This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. What is this? Police gunpowders have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they?
This linden-headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is grinding to a halt. Tired of walking the desert, it doesn't want to...
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even...
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her
Если
current
переводить
state,
на
and
русский,
without the
полный
gun,
рыцарь его
she isn't really
поймали.
a threat to anyone.
И игра про маленького котора. Точную же чуму, которая охватила весь все королевство, которое в игре. А именно настоящее вообще никто не знает. Концов в игре 6. И сам прошел на плохую концовку. Ясно. Не хочу играть про жука, который убивает жуков.
We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is...
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? Being left alone. She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and flashes now. Maybe if you search... The woman stands. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar...
Oh, is that yours?
The lieutenant nods. You take the vial of Pyrrolidon and the bottle of speed. She didn't consume them. She didn't look high. She confiscated them. A little like you are doing now.
Засали фейс. Это игра.
You're taking those, are you? Sure. I guess that's fine.
The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
It's you again. What is it? What's that, Copper? You want us to help little...
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kurong or something.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right, Gene. She have something of yours, Pig? You're fucking with me. Your gun. She had your fucking gun?
Sure did, boss. Heard him loud and clear. The pig's lost his...
Well, at least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions... Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo. Fuck you, pig. What the fuck you are playing?
Easy, Al. Don't let him get to you. Have one for Auntie LaPlante, huh?
Don't disrespect me. Was like before. Just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did ride by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
Us kids? That must have been ages ago. She was better then.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? No, I didn't. Because I'm not...
Yeah, Carl. That's some pretty fucking weird shit to say. The pigs level weird. But whatever gets you through the day. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on...
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problem.
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you wasting your time? I've got nothing to...
If you don't mind, please put the flashlight away.
Photonic sensitivity is not generally acknowledged by the medical establishment.
I do appreciate it. Hello, hello. Let me know if I... Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves. And your boombox, that gold and amber, Harmon Waushi, still...
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever.
All the old boomboxes are there, blinking and waiting to whirl. All the old boomboxes are there, blinking and waiting to whirl. All but one, yours. All the old boomboxes. You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed on the table. Some on... A typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor. It's getting late.
Good night, officer.
The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down. Simmer down, bastards. The waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Simmer down.
Get the drink on. It would be unimaginable for a human female to have sex with a man without alcohol as the master of ceremonies to guide them.
Funny. Funny.
It's okay. She just hasn't figured out how these things work between the sexes. Keep at it. She'll come around.
The waves are beginning to die down.
Get the drink on. It would be unimaginable for a human female to have sex with...
Now there's a whole shit.
She doesn't even understand you asked her out. Perhaps you're too sober to pull it off right now. It's getting late, and it's raining. The bed is comforting. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
How have things been going for you out there?
This bastard isn't even listening to you.
Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people. And then forgets about.
Hear that? You are naive to think he's afraid of his bloodied hands. Soul brother. Oh no. I see inside is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too... We're trying to help you. Oh.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window.
Yes?
takes you a moment, but the trap feels light and silent as no locus. No phasmid either, but still.
Well, the bait worked on something. This doesn't mean it was a real monster, though. Unless you see one in there. I just see an...
The netting is a little untidy, messier than the others.
Perhaps our cryptozoologists have competition in the form of an actual entomologist, or someone else is sabotaging them. I could present more theories, but then I would be taking this on as a case, which I'm not. Right. Anyway, that's for the cryptozoologists to figure out now. We're not cryptozoologists.
The reeds shake sadly in the coastal breeze. The wind picks up here. An old door.
Привет. Просто. Это не хромакей. Это... Ну, эффект как в хромакее, но это NVIDIA... Что-то... Как она называется? Короче, программа какая-то от NVIDIA, которая любой фон вырезает. NVIDIA Broadcast, по-моему. Вот. NVIDIA Broadcasting. О, когда Резидент будешь проходить на этом, как он называет? Я на харде прошел, там есть жуткая деревня. Тебе понравился 8-й Резидент? Или после харда ты больше играть не хочешь? А сейчас ты гонки какие-то проходишь. Проходил. Типа Need for Speed. Обойдусь без жуткой деревни. Мне не понравилось это, как я. Карта. Ясно. Мне тоже жуткая деревня, что-то неохота играть в жуткую деревню. Я тебя понимаю. Будешь проходить диско Elysium?
Actually, never mind. Wouldn't be the same. The prick is gone. I can barely believe it. But
He is trying to retain his jolly facade, but the underlying sadness casts a
Правильно,
deep shadow
молодец.
over his wrinkled
Зачем
face.
играть в одно и то же? Надо разные игры попробовать. Вот я тоже раньше играл. Пидранил одну игру по 100 раз проходил. Зачем? Сейчас я вот думаю над этим и понимаю, что это скукота. Когда разные игры играешь, больше удовольствия, чем одно и то же. Ты кому эти нужны спидраны? Толку нет. Все бессмысленно. Лен. Что спидран, что Sims, никому ничего не надо. Лучше тогда играть то, что тебе нравится. Хочется тебе играть. Что-то новое играй, что-то новое. Хочется старое играй. Как говорится, и мой принцип, главное, чтобы игра приносила удовольствие. Приносит — играй, не приносит — бросай. Он долбит, например, долбит. Говорит, я должен ее пройти, надо закончить. Кому ты должен? Зачем заканчивать? Ну, не нравится игра, удали, да поставь новую. Ладно бы игр не было. Было 5 игр. Как, помнишь, не знаю. А ты, наверное, Дэнди не застал. Раньше было у тебя 5 картриджей образно, или 3. На них там, на этих 3 картриджей 6 игр. Там, допустим, 2 одноигровки и 2 там 3-игровки, 2-игровки. Ну, или 10 игр несу. Тогда да, иди играй, проходи, перепроходи. Больше нет. Достал Дэнди. Максимум, что ты можешь и купить, тебе никто ничего не купит, новую игру. Поэтому, или Сега та же. Вот играй в то, что это. У меня, помню, был картридж, 3-игровка на Сегу. Там было что-то про Микки Мауса игра, про Дональд Дака и Красавица и Чудовище. Так я все 3 прошел. Были картриджи. Накликать, ну да. Так не потому, что они мне нравились. Я не мог пройти. Я сначала прошел Квакшот, это про Дональд Дака. Ну или там какую-то утку из этих Дональд Даков. Потом я прошел про Микки Мауса. А потом только Красавицу и Чудовище, что она была самая трудная. И Микки Маус был трудный. Какой-то там мистерия в замке, он там был, музыкальная мистерия. Ну, я прошел их не потому, что они мне очень нравятся, а потому что играть-то было не во что. У меня была одна 3-игровка и все.
Hell, most likely. He was an absolute Kent. His hungry little heart finally gave out. The dock workers found him.
А диско Elysium будешь проходить? Или ты не любишь эти РПГ, где куча типа Baldur's Gate, Arcanum, Fallout? Самое трудное это... Сейчас, да, это точно. Ну что делать? Только держись. Все когда-нибудь заканчивается. Игрулечкам поменялось отношение. А как у тебя оно поменялось? Или все, бросаешь играть? Надоели игры? Да то сейчас, наверное, у вас девки более лояльные. Девушку, наверное, себе нашел. Да. Когда все эти конфликты, девушки больше легче влюбляются по психологии, говорят так. Мужики же защитники, ты потенциальный защитник. Наверное, вешаются на тебя сейчас девки. Написывают. Вон Никита, ваш этот. Одна, как он, соотечественник. Постоянно девок находил. Правда, сейчас куда-то пропал.
Wait, did he push himself to prove he can pull his weight and doesn't need handouts?
Guess he was about to head home. Cause when the dock workers found him, he was wearing civilian. Sometimes I thought he was wearing it just to piss me off. Now the joke's on him.
Как у меня жена есть, никак.
Be buried without it.
Мне одной хватает. Че забыл? Память. Может, ты чуть-чуть выпил? Память помутнилась. Резидент хорошая игра. Ну, ты один раз прошел. Я все резиденты проходил раз по 10. Там же это можно получить. Хотя там во второй раз, может, и нет смысла проходить. Сюжетный концовок там нет. Хардкор только дают. И бесконечное оружие. Только разве что на время пройти. Показать, как ты можешь быстро пройти. Или ачивки выбивать. Да, нет смысла. 8-ю часть. Зачем я проходил 10 раз? Ну, я пытался на лучшее время пройти. Глупость. Никому это не надо.
No. René was the most stubborn man in Revachol. Nothing your high could say would ever push him to do anything. The man was completely immovable. I repeat, an absolute cant. Even his old army buddies didn't want him around. It was like the only people who could stand to be around him were Jenny and me. She saw something in him when we were just kids, and she never lost sight of it. And I thought if the most beautiful being in the world can love him, then there must be something worse. We've hated each other our entire lives. So much, in fact, that yes, I loved that angry prick. He didn't deserve it, but I did. You know what it's like? In Guillaume's time, you'd have been shot without trial. That's what he said to me. He lived a cunt, and he died a cunt. Let's leave it at that. Let me see. This was 60 years ago. We all went to that parade. Young René looked so happy, and Jenny... I'm sorry, officer. I just... Thank you. Thank you.
That was nice. A small thing for us, but invaluable to him. He probably didn't even know René had the photo. Yes, we are both very sorry for your loss.
It is what it
Смешные
is.
комментарии-то.
Part of life, really. But to know someone for 79 years, then one day they're just gone. I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something. Yes? What about René? Yes. We all got to go sometime, officer. Everyone I love is already there. Probably waiting for me. I'm not afraid to die.
We are both very sorry for your loss. Death of a...
It is what it is. Part of life. But to know someone for 79 years, I just don't know anymore. About anything, really. But you must need something.
It's great to see you again, officer.
Oh, sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Meskin origin.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape. You could ask her about this when you get the time. It's probably a cryptid, but the phasmid, of course, is more important.
Haha, nothing.
He tries to play it cool.
Good. Okay. Completely empty?
No locusts?
That's not ideal.
It just means the Insulindian phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
She's engaging in a well-known self-deception called motivated...
Of course, more clever.
Yes. The Phantasmodea picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have
Another trip to the reeds. Why don't you try convincing Morel?
Thank you for the vote of no confidence, Gary. An officer. I appreciate your concern.
You're jabbing at the soft underbelly of his psyche. He realizes he...
Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped...
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel some kind of foul play?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been...
Damn it, Lieutenant. Have you no intellectual curiosity? Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed. As though shaken. Most likely you should ask the red-headed boy, Kuno.
A little hooligan. But what would it...
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment...
Delinquents. My favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty. But no more field trips for me.
After this is your last chance to talk to Gary.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it. Morel, it's been fun, really. But I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done...
No need to apologize, Gary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of...
He keeps the language unemotional, but it's in there. Disappointment.
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty...
I don't know what got into him, officer. Thank you for letting him off easy. He won't forget it. We'll make sure he won't.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Again? I can't...
Fuck, does Kuno care?
No.
Kuno...
So he knows locusts are bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison! Deny everything, Kuno.
Kuno's not gonna say any...
Lame. That rings some bells. Yeah, that's pretty...
Oh god, Kuno, no! It's gonna happen now!
Stop it, see. No one's gonna make anyone...
There's definitely something going on here. You should check out Kuno's shack. The one with the pig's head.
Kuno doesn't fuck... Fuck, does Kuno care?
Планы на весну. Хрен знает. Играть в игры дальше. Гулять, если будет солнце. А, я жду Resident Evil. Вот, поиграть в Resident Evil 4 ремейк. А у тебя какие планы на весну?
The fuck do you want with it? Oh, that. Kuno decapitates pig.
What?
Fuck you, shit, back to
Well played. No one saw that coming.
Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. The fuck do you want with... Oh, that. Kuno decapitates pigs.
What?
Fuck you, shit.
Well played. No one saw.
Oh, that. Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a coup. Too brutal for you, huh? Kuno, fuck your tongue off. Of course you want back in there. Oh, that. Too brutal. Of course you. Good call, Pigmeister. Don't come and talk to Kuno about his kingdom. Kuno.
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third person.
Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaut.
Работает рисовать. Засняться каналом? Что значит засняться каналом? Не понимаю. Хорошая игра, но пиздец, блядь. Я в тупике. Анимация. Ну.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows, like skyscrapers, spires of dirt and sand.
А ты устроился? Что за работа? Кем работаешь? Это секрет.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case. Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well. Yes, I feel we are nearing a real breakthrough. I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things.
Секрет фирмы, ну ладно. Главное, есть работа, поздравляю, молодец. Что устроился и работаешь. Олег. Чё, Mortal Kombat не надоел или Mortal Kombat твоя жизнь? Ждешь Mortal Kombat 12? Слышал, выйдет. Правда, наверное, или в этом, или в следующем году.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what? It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the... Stop!
Locusts coming down like a shadow. This must be the night city he mentioned when you asked him where he's been.
Yeah, Locust City. City of...
There's a tug of war over the name.
Люблю Mortal Kombat, но комьюнити там отбивает желание играть. Почему отбивает? Комьюнити. Кстати, в Mortal Kombat появился голосовой чат. Это те, которые показывают, типа, я б тебя отлюбил, и делают фаталити. Токсичная комьюнити. Такие жесты показывают. Как их назвать-то? Вульгарные, некультурные.
The girl forces herself to watch again. The corners of her eyes.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how late.
An artist? Maybe I am an artist.
Did he just say I? Kuno usually calls Kuno, Kuno.
you totally lame in like 3 seconds.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
Дурачков много.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything.
А ты
Kuno can make himself into a
говоришь,
pig if he wants.
мнение об играх
Kuno can
поиграл.
make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Это теперь ты играешь в разные игры, а не в одну и ту же. А ты играешь в РПГ, где куча текста? Тебе нравятся такие игры? Хотя я у тебя на стримах не видел, где куча текста. А ты Skyrim проходил?
Don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. Without a word, she disappears in. For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now. You got him. Now convince him to leave the cryptozoologist's traps alone.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence. Just look. She doesn't know whether to be glad
Нравится, где много текста, люблю читать.
or more worried because of
После
his
Ведьмака на
continued
РПГ
use
пока
of
не
the
тянет.
first
А,
person
понятно.
singular.
А ты недавно прошел Ведьмак 3? Да. И проходил его. А Skyrim ты проходил? Ой, если ты не проходил Skyrim, пройди обязательно Skyrim. Самая лучшая РПГ. Типа Ведьмака, только свободы действия много. Можешь делать, что хочешь. Вы не собираетесь на митинги? А у нас митинги же, я же рассказывал, заканчиваются этими дубинками и этими КПЗ. У нас этот же, как она, тоталитаризм. Нельзя говорить ничего. Нельзя выходить на митинги. Если бы все собрались. А в нашем Ухасранске вообще никому ничего не надо. Это в Москве, в Питере люди там как-то. У нас же тут один этот самый выживание, понимаешь? Нет у нас ни свободы слова, ни демократии. У нас вечный царь, и говорить ничего нельзя. И здесь все заняты борьбой за выживание. Что, одеть, что пожрать, как отложить. Я не рассказывал, мне на машину ветка упала, 50 тысяч на зубы собирал. Теперь он заплатил за ремонт, сижу, зубы. Короче, в дырке зуб. В зубе дырка, блядь, заговариваюсь. Дышать иногда больно, сладко есть больно. Все, вот тебе. Теперь опять откладывай, собирай, чтобы зубы починить. Ветка ссаная упала, потому что дерево трухлявое. Никто его не стриг. Очень хороший царь. Ну я что могу сделать с этим царем? Я же его не выбирал. Я всегда ходил и голосовал против. Но у нас подделывают эти самые результаты. Ну и кого-то заставляют голосовать. Типа военных, учителей. Всякие там органы государственные. Ну хер знает, сколько там убитых, я не знаю. Я за этим не слежу. И это тоже нельзя об этом говорить. Только официальные эти сводки. Нельзя. Ну, есть, да. Да у меня мать парализована. Что мне там? Куда мне идти? Если я уйду, и меня куда-нибудь заберут, она умрет с голода и все. Так что это не все свободны и могут делать, что хочешь. Да будет саранч.
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die. It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck. Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame. The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps? Huh.
He recognizes the name.
Dead Space ремейк будешь брать? Итак, ремейк. Я его взял. Но я в него не могу играть, потому что там нет этого русского перевода. А на английском мне неинтересно. Там ничего не понятно. Я пробовал, но о чем-то говорят. Куда идти? Чё... Не, я понимаю, что надо идти вперед. Я его проходил, но мне неинтересно играть, где я ни хера не понимаю. Я по-английски понимаю 10%. Ну, в лучшем случае 20. Жду перевода. А ты будешь брать ремейк? А, English прокачаешь. Да ну, них я не люблю сидеть с этим, со словарем. Я делают уже перевод на компьютер. Надо подождать. Может, на этой неделе, может, на следующей. Да с играми сейчас вообще не во что играть. Я не знаю, во что играть. Видишь, это игра 2021 года. И то тут. Я знаю, что теперь делать уже.
Bitches think Kuno doesn't know shit. The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired. Fuck does Kuno care? Kuno doesn't.
Прокачано, это я читал. Короче, буду ждать перевода. И вообще играть не во что. Вообще деградация игр. Нет, раньше помню. Год 2004, Half-Life, Doom 3, Half-Life 2, Far Cry, Сибирь. Или какой-нибудь там Quake 4, а сейчас Need for Speed. Хотя в прошлом году Need for Speed вышел какой-то Unbound. Но он стоит до хера. Dead Space. Надо было Need for Speed брать. У меня скоро выключат свет, буду экономить батарею. Спокойной ночи, хорошего. Все хорошо, спокойной ночи, давай. Держись. Будь здоров.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. So it was just a child.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right?
She acts chipper, but something's...
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need...
He has a 38-degree fever. His resilience...
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick.
You're right, you're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
That's just something people tell themselves when they fail.
He's right, dear Morel.
Self-deceit?
You're right, dear. We'll get our shot yet.
The slouch in his shoulders tells you otherwise. He doesn't know.
This place is much better for fieldwork in the summer.
Thank you, dear. And you, Detective Fox? You've been great company to an old lady and her stubborn husband.
You're right, Lena. The RCM is worth their salt. More so than they say on the radio.
Goodbye.
The man ponders his cooking. You see a heavy steel door. The door does not. The old cobalt. It leads to a side building, adjacent to this one. The old building next to this, half ruined. Whatever is behind it must be older.
Hey, what's this?
It's you again. What is it? Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time.
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on...
Your race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with this. Mr. Claire, also, to serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic. Above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, offshoot, I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the Seminoles race. I can see that. The Seminoles are the South Island race. Haplogroup A4A. The rightful we are the future. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Ulimbuir are with me now. Yes.
This could have made him more open to discussing the race enigma with you.
Mr. Dubois, I prefer my police officers old-fashioned like that, with a gun. You can do so many things with a gun that you can't do without one. Now, what can I... My. She's quite the looker, Harry. You can't imagine how... Tell me, was it difficult to convince the pigs to give it up? I knew you could handle it. I know my special policeman. Anyway, I'm glad you're all right and armed again, Harry. Now, what can Everard Clare do for you? What? Did I? Well done then, Harry. I like not knowing about it, and I'm sure you made the right call. I spend the whole day delegating tasks, and it's a great relief. I don't even want to know what all of that means. Brew, shady, alcohol, turned off. I'm gonna let the world surprise me. I'm always happy to educate. Very nice. Most certainly. By all means, Harry. Great. You absolutely...
Hey, mister.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm. The polished wooden handle, it reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect, hoping you don't have to use it in vain. The sun was out in Jamrock. Sheathe your sidearm, officer. A serious law official, cop by the book, should know to... door seems... The file cabinets, the drawer,
Your race descent has only worsened since I left. Racist.
Welcome, he must... The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. Its large jaw, for example.
You exhibit forward projection of it is impossible. This lead your racial heritage is
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
A lorry stuck in the window, fumes of heavy fuel.
It's you again. What is it?
Starting, sitting, across. He spent and then the M in the size, in conclusion. Exactly.
The fuck is with you, fella? It's you again. What is it?
I've got nothing to say to you.
The door is this door. Still, the lieutenant gives you. Still, the lieutenant. Still, the lieutenant. Still, the lieutenant. Still, the lieutenant. Still, not the lieutenant gives you. Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must be frustrating. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to issue a new one to you then. Over. 10-4, sir, roger that, and very glad to hear it. I will make relevant changes to the report. Roger that, 10-10, over and out.
There must be another way into the building.
A sturdy metal door. A sturdy metal door. A door
Stop banging on the door. Doesn't matter.
from within.
The police? No. Go check the
Backyard door.
Madame!
There is no reply.
Yes?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Trying to sneak.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing. You have no clue. So many walls. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing. You have. Just an ordinary wall. Nothing. You haven't. Just an ordinary wall. Because this is no ordinary wall. It is. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this. The uncontested. O Wall Father. Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
If you must.
Hello again, officer.
What for?
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Sounds like you're just about to live out your self-pity, not make a statement. I can't have shit art on my conscience. Yeah, not gonna hold my breath, Piggy. You look like you'd suck. Hello again, officers.
They do say the painter always paints.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you, Piggo. You're a real sad sack. Oh, but I'm all out of fuel.
Fuel? That wasn't paint. It was heavy fuel oil, marked red for use by government vehicles.
What do you think I was using?
You know what you've got in that fuel canister you scavenged from your Kanema? Red-dyed heavy fuel oil. The paintbrush in your hand is like a loaded revolver. What will it be, Desperado? Quite a few things come to mind. You've spoken. The wall will now silently repeat the message for a decade or so, until the sea air degrades the paint, adding another layer.
Very poetic. Real poetry. Should we return to our murder investigation? I hear there's a really bad one we are supposed to...
Again?
Yes?
It's you again. What is it?
5 минут перерыв.
Whoa. What have a bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind? A construction code violation if there ever was one.
Sure, they never cleaned up the war damage. The rest of Revachol looks better, though. The bridge is fine enough. Locals use it all the time, after all. It's nothing to worry about. Shall we?
You see a young man on a balcony, nursing.
Not looking for any trouble, officer. There's no trouble. I'm just speaking in a lowered voice. I don't want to be seen talking to the gendarmerie if that's okay. I just want to finish my cigarette.
Don't let him go. This could be your witness. The balcony has a great view of the whole thing.
Is it really that important?
Like a nervous cat, he keeps stealing looks at the neighbor.
All right, but make it quick. Once I finish this cigarette, I have to run. My name? My name?
That's definitely not his real name.
No, of course not. Could you please lower your voice? I can tell that you finally got him down. Thank you. It was quite a disturbing sight, even by Martinez.
What were you doing last Sunday?
Oh. You already asked me that, didn't you?
Wait, is someone else investigating the lynching?
No, not you. Some more muscular type.
And when did you speak to this more muscular gentleman?
Last week? I don't know. Look.
He's an actor declaiming a soliloquy. See how you hang on his...
You didn't answer the question. What were...
I had a friend over. It was my Sunday friend.
He doesn't reply, gesturing no with his cigarette. In the neighboring windows, you can see faint reflections of his silhouette, all from different angles.
No. We won't. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going. Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. Tenements like these often have multiple exits. If he doesn't want to talk to us, then he'll know how to hide himself. He could be a witness. Him or his Sunday friend. Either way, we need to look in. There has to be a way of getting inside the building. Let's go check out the door near the pier again. Once we found a way in, we can ask around for his apartment.
Hello again, officers.
They do so.
That's pretty fucked up. Even for you. I think everyone would... You're a real... Oh.
Fuel? That wasn't...
What do you think?
You know what you've got. The paintbrush in your hand is like a low. You've spoken.
Very...
You see.
Not looking for any... There's no trouble. I don't want to be seen.
Don't let him go. This could be
Is it?
like a nervous cat.
Alright, but make it quick. My name?
That's definite.
No, of course not. I can tell.
What were you doing?
Oh.
Wait, is someone else?
No, not you.
And when?
Last week?
He's an actor.
You didn't.
It was my son.
He doesn't reply.
No. Now, if you'll excuse me, I really need to get going.
Time to bring out your secret charm. Tears and begging. Show him your emotional side. Throw yourself before his very feet like a dog.
No, for God's sake, I don't want you to cry. Listen, I really have to go. Good luck with the investigation.
He's gone. No point in running. He could be a witness. Him or his son. There has to be...
A stone, like any other, lying in a whirl of sleet and mud. Maybe there's a key beneath it, rusty from the dirt.
This must be for the front door. Pity it doesn't have the apartment number on it. This building has hundreds of apartments. We'll just have to go in and see.
This door has been closed with a padlock. A chalk-drawn number on the board says, number 11. No reply. It's a solid lump of metal, but the shackle is deeply corroded. A solid pair of chain cutters would make short work of. Better whip out those cutters. You won't get very far otherwise. This door has been closed with a padlock. The shackle snaps like a twig, and the lock...
After you, detective.
A plaster cast bust depicts a middle-aged man with impressive sideburns. The name on the plinth reads Kraz Marzov.
The white star, the photos on the wall. I think we have broken into the apartment of a young communard. How fitting. Whoever lives here definitely shares your enthusiasm. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems. I suspect that's exactly what they are trying to do. There aren't many communists around, not after the revolution. Some youth still keep the ideology going, it seems.
You hear someone walking around inside, rearranging the furniture. The walking stops abruptly. Sounded like a woman. A woman's shoe. A poor communard, from the looks of it. The room is barely bigger than a closet.
Do I have to open the door? Do you have a warrant? I'm not up.
Let's go. We don't have a reason to get inside that.
It's generally easier to do things if you have literally any reason.
Give me a moment. The cold never does any good for my bronchitis. I'm fine. Fine. Don't you worry about me. Now, what do you want?
She's the cleaning lady.
I'm no one. Just an old woman. If you can call it living. I have a little room upstairs. It's barely bigger than a closet. But I don't complain, no. I have my bed and my aching bones to keep me company. And that's all I...
She hasn't spoken to anyone for a while. Even her...
What? No. No.
Would she understand if they did?
If it ain't my business, I'll keep my nose out of it. I think we'd all be better off if people kept their noses to themselves. Yes, yes, I know who you mean. The scrawny boy who's always smoking like the devil, right?
Somewhere in the building, a child starts crying. You hear a radio tuned to a talk show and some...
What's he in trouble for? Talk?
What was so funny?
He lives upstairs in room 28. Go to the balcony. It's one of those doors there.
Thank you. We should go check out his apartment on the balcony. See if he's home.
Ask away, policeman. People come and go. I don't...
They probably just moved or died. Hopefully somewhere else.
No one lives there. It's been empty for months. Impossible. I would know if someone had moved in there. Maybe it's those countercultural people again. Breaking into a house like it's a public space. You're a policeman. Be good and take a look, will you? Great. Young people. They're worse than rats. You know, always littering the hallways with trinkets and empty beer cans. Oh, that one is a scientist. A future... I think he studies astrology at the community college. Education's good. I always tell them something to do with all those stars around his door. He asked me to leave his drawings up on the wall. The symbol of what now? Never heard of it. The artiste? Nothing I can do about her, I'm afraid. She ruins the walls faster than I can clean them. Still, she leaves an old lady to her business. More than I can say for others.
She mumbles some kind of a response, then hacks something into her handkerchief.
Ooh, the piggies have learned how to saunter up staircases. I didn't... Yeah, I can see that. cool mutations.
You hear someone walking around inside.
Excuse me?
You have plenty of reason to enter.
Oh, come on.
Well,
That was smart.
Satisfied? My name is Marielle Charpentier, and I'm an agent with Martinez Realty Associates. I am not breaking in, as I have ever.
boy, there are a lot of...
Do you want to see my ID as well? You can't legally ask for it, but why not? Want to see my residence permit too?
It feels flimsy in hand, with the words Revachol Zone of Control written under a nondescript municipal logo. There's...
Thank you. Do you have any questions? I need to be back in Midtown in an hour. I need to get it ready for the next lease, but as you can see, the previous tenant complete. It was some kind of a moribund old man who used to be a business owner. You'd think they'd make rent.
A sudden serious look crosses her face. This...
But that was months ago. Anyway, was there anything you wanted, or is that it? I'm in a hurry. Oh, that's another huge mess. The former tenant owes us 3 months of rent. 3. We closed the apartment and planned on... And again, I have no idea how stupid mistakes like this can even happen. But Ron, when he came to close the door, didn't close the neighboring door. A hole in the wall. Can you believe it? And then the tenant ran off with his stuff. He's gone. The money's gone. Just like that.
The sum must have been puny.
These apartments are perfectly fine. They have gorgeous architecture, a million-real view of the bay, good ventilation, neighbors, life, spark. I'll tell you, Martinez has a future. In a few years, it's going to blossom with artists and creatives and those
The radio computer wizards are invested with magical economic powers.
Well, it does not disappear from my hands. No, I don't let it. Don't ask me what happened with the wall. I have no idea how we're going to find the time or resources to... Both apartments are now unrentable. Both. Of course. What now? Of course.
Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Nothing, nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Give me a moment. I see. I hope some good people are finally going to move in. This place needs them. Oh, I do like wizards. And people like that.
She means clairvoyance.
Yes?
This door is made of metal and appears to be reinforced. Number 28. This is where the cleaning lady said.
Let's see if
No one answers.
Looks like the young man we are looking for isn't home. I think our best chance to catch him is in the evening. We should return tomorrow after we have finished with our day's work. How about 9 p.m.? Sound good? The smoker on the balcony. This is why we're here, right? He might know something about the murder. So
don't worry. It's mostly all still here. You can remember things. You got this.
Tomorrow, 9 p.m., right here. Apartment number 28. Good.
Damn. Turns out it's quite tricky finding someone in a big apartment building. Don't worry. Remember, tomorrow, no one answers.
We should return tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9.
The door is closed. You hear someone inside, walking from room to room. Whoever lives here must be back. The door is closed. You hear... Whoa. What have a bridge with loose nails and rot-infested wood that creaks in the wind? It could...
Sure. The bridge is fine.
It's the ledger you found in the trash. A cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It takes about half an hour to piece one. It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. Who knows? Those pages are missed. One day you may still catch. Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motorway. You know, insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, you got to complain. They were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves on it. And smoked cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up. And you did. So no, you didn't have time for that. Murder. Tum tum tum. At the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph Mills, who beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call one night. It's a sad story, and it isn't really represented in your case files. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. The captain got impatient. Shit, Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains, running with every theory, as outlandish as they seemed. Still couldn't no, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was the final case. Said it was uncrackable. Okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead in a hookah parlor. You know, those places where you go and smoke bubblegum flavored. No, it's soot and water vapor. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, really lame. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one else is in there. No one enters. No one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. No calls, nothing. Just sucking on the hoop. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin. Movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped dead. So you go to the parlor. You see cushions around the table. Tables low, heavy, really sharp edge. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply, and you don't notice it until you get up to go to the bathroom. Yeah, he liked his hookah. Stephen was his name. Smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Joseph Mills wasn't a good detective, and about 30 minutes has passed piecing it together. Next. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden without resistance or sound. It's slightly, ever, the acidic stent, you know, like the bits they put into public piss bowls. Probably called Fermi. If you knew it was dunked in the toilet, so you wanted to get your nose is somewhere between.
race descent has only worsened since I last saw you. You have really let yourself go. Racist.
Welcome. He must. The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-science.
Correct. Racist.
Welcome. He must. The drawings are precise and look true to their pseudo-scientific.
You exhibit forward projection. It is this. Your racial heritage is uninteresting. It is this.
I think
that will be the.
He will grant us.
Your Pete,
the lieutenant.
You should keep him close.
I think
that will be the.
They're always.
Race is reality.
I think
that will be the.
But
these cops are just jealous, Jean-Luc.
Don't be vulgar. White or not, is the also to serve is noble. It takes discipline, jam, individualism. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to the South. I am a descendant. No. I'm from. You have heard enough about. No. Easter also. Of course. Above all. Rampant multinational finance still reigning. Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. Because I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the South. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of Elysium. Good.
What's this? We're getting reports of normal, reasonable, temperate political opinions somewhere in Martinez. Of course, it's time to become a citizen of the Kingdom of Con. It is not a place. It is a moment in time that can only arise in the right circumstances. In all of human history, it's only in history's greatest catastrophes have been brought about by people trying to make the world a better place. That's the genius of Dolores Day. She recognized that progress is meaningless if its gains are lost because of instability. Real, lasting change can only come about gradually, increment by increment. Tisk tisk, just you may never live to see the kingdom of conscience. Your children may not. Even your grandchildren might not. But that's no excuse not to keep working. What rationality? What sang-froid? Do you believe the status quo is preferable to chaos and bloodshed? There you have it. Sometimes holding the line is progress. The kingdom is difficult to comprehend, partly because humanity will need to discard many of the categories that define and limit it today. The kingdom of conscience is post-capitalist. It's also post-industrial, post-ideological, and even... Slow down, Mr. Reasonable. Did you miss the part about compromising and taking things slow? That's right. Remember, real democracy is just around the corner for Revachol. When that real democracy kicks in...
You'll raise the...
Hola, Wandering Man.
Right to work.
for something hot?
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam, man. What's on your mind? Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam.
Ease into.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam.
Ease it.
Stuck in the rain in a traffic jam.
In his eyes, an unfamiliar longing. Flecks of. It's hard to say. His gaze wanders southwest, down the street that goes beyond.
Excuse me?
A flinch jolts his frame. The question has touched a nerve.
Man, I don't know what to say. I miss my family. They're all I have. My wife, second kid on the way, waiting all the way in Diora. And here I am stuck in this shit, so far from home. What's it like? Good. And bad. An ache that brings you joy. I think of them a lot. I dream up these silly scenarios and great... What about you, Cop Man? You missing someone?
No, it's scarier than that. You're pursued by a hunter, smelling of apricots and sorrow. And
I feel for you, my friend. It's bad enough to know who you miss. Missing like that doesn't feel like it but thanks for this. It's nice to talk to someone, and I know it wasn't easy to ask. I hope you find your way through your own troubles.
inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Still no word, I'm afraid, sir. I know it must... Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. Over. 10-4, sir. Sorry, but I'm under orders to... 10-4. Orders as orders. I need Roger that. 10-10, over and out.
Hey, was there some...
It's you again. What is it?
Привет, сори. Чё, как жизнь? Ты в 3 часа ночи не спишь?
In your hands, you hold 16 Days of Coldest April by Yekatina Dar. The cover, indeed. The book is unusually heavy in your hand. You flip through the book. The pages are thinner than you realized, and the type quite small and tight. Real art is dense and difficult. If it didn't feel like you had to wrestle a suicidal bear to get through it, you weren't real. The back cover is dominated by a black and white photograph. She can't be much older than her mid-30s in this photograph. And yet, from this cover, the eyes of a sad old woman stare back at you. In cold, Detached to prose, the author describes a scene from one of the Yugoslavia riots in the 20s. Youths overturned motor carriages and set trash cans ablaze, while heavily armored guardsmen dash in and disperse them in a flurry of baton blows. The Yugoslavia riots took place from 27 to 29. Fueled by ethnic unrest and the state's repressive tactics, these events are often seen as marking the end of a brief period of liberalization known as the Yugoslavia Spring. Like all such periods, as ethnic tensions run wild, a pair of young lovers meet each other on the street. Somehow, in the middle of all the chaos, it would physically hurt you to keep reading. Are you sure? They go through a brief and somewhat awkward love affair, and in the end, they betray each other and succumb to the absurdity of Gradian life. The man becomes a lens grinder, completely abandoning his form. He toils through the daily drudgery at the Lenka polyfabricate. Happiness and fulfillment have eluded him his whole life. And in the end, she spends the next several decades standing at a conveyor in a Sosnovo fish processing plant. The smell of fish guts slowly seeps into her hair and skin. As every single one of her dreams, the memory of their short time spent together tortures the former lovers ceaselessly until the end of their days. Years pass in solitude, their bodies growing ever more as life leaves their remains between the soil sheets. Their final thoughts are filled with regret.
Hey, was there something you needed? Another thing. Great. Yes?
Again? I can't believe this shit.
Yes, of course I'm with him. The sooner you figure what priest.
Fucking dear.
You're getting an intellect.
God damn it.
Can I actually?
Yes, of course. Preposterous.
I don't.
Don't say anything, Judith. Me? No.
Okay.
I'm just looking.
No one. I'm just a man with sunglasses.
You're a fucking asshole. Are we done here?
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
She's not even asking you anything.
Oh. That's...
The lieutenant looks at you, and he's able to contain the anger and surprise.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this, to gauge their reactions. It's all part of detecting.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? That's beautiful.
Keeping her calm, perfect posture. Her eyes move across the muzzle, key.
A Villiers 9mm. Front-loaded? 2 or 3-barreled? Villiers and LaSalle was one of the original 14 Indo-tribes of Revachol. Did you know? Artillery and ballistics.
She phrases it as if it's a pity. She also phrases it as a
What else? It helps to sometimes hold inventory of the things you've achieved, you know. Clears the soul. Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it? Why, if I may ask, why make them more drunk? Aren't...
Yes, Detective. What were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
Very curious. A very curious...
Truly. But that's how he operates. He just does things, man. And then talks about...
What else? A referral, you mean? I take it this was for someone in the RCM. Don't answer that. Such referrals may sometimes get you information from a man like Everard. Did it?
Detective, I advise you to be very selective with what information you choose to share. This may have consequences beyond our line of sight.
Misinformation. This is all because we haven't shared information on the lynching yet. See? Already the adversary uses it to their advantage. Don't let him. Hurry up on that probe. The moment you tell me you're finished at the traffic jam, I will gladly tell you the company's side of the story.
She must really want you to look into the drugs. Otherwise, she'd tell you.
How benevolent. Hopefully they'll help you sort this whole business out, if they haven't.
While we appreciate your assistance, ma'am, I'm afraid we can't discuss...
That is only fair. Well, I hope it yields something. Otherwise you'll have opened that door for naught. Anything else? Yes, that's the talk about town. The Hardy Boys, they're called. Find the name rather amusing, honestly. Naturally, Detective. There are lighter topics. Sounds like he has you running errands, Detective. A well-established dominance ritual. Where did he have you deliver it? Ah, yes. I've been meaning to go there.
With longing, clear and simple, longing. Strange. Why does she...
A youth centre with Edgar Clare's statue on top of it. Go ahead. Help him. Make it so. I have no power to stop him. I should be. In my youth, I had a brief dalliance here in Martinez. He was an older man with impossibly broad shoulders. He's probably dead by now. Even his shack is long gone. Not that it matters. These buildings are all carbon copies of one another. Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. My not overly so. It's not like this was the only place we visited. Me and my girlfriends from Azon with our shiny boats. Like reavers, we told ourselves we were the worst thing to happen to the coast since the Coalition landed in '08. Imagine. Yes, I'm sad I'll never have the time, Detective. I've always wanted a dilapidating fishing
She is more defensive about it than usual.
full of ghosts and ancient memories. Has this errand yielded you any information? Of course, Detective. You can always drop by later, should something come up. Now, what else can I do for you? Of course. I am sorry to have been the bearer of bad news. If there is anything more lessons in basic reality, my favorite part of the day. These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second for the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well.
She likes the totality of it.
Indeed. They piled them in mass graves in Ozon. And did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million.
Yeah, it was a kerfuffle, all right.
Yes. The Insulindian deluge, they call it. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts differ. It was unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad. Yes, King Guillaume had a nose for bad PR. He ran before it. What is the expression? Went down? Anyway, Gil got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle, him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. Why, of course. We're talking Duke out Central. No, I would say the apes were neutral. On the other hand, maybe you're right.
It takes time for the apes to change and work. Perhaps what happened here was part of that time.
The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective. Or the remaining gentry. The beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary. Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the Ultras, or they didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot.
We. She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention. The Coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The Liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The Coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people. The Coalition of Nations, Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-la-Clay, the armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and at least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now.
The rulers of Revachol, and also...
This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they...
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial.
Of course. Not easy to be moderate about head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution? The revolution began in '02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the end nearly the whole... It wasn't a who, but a what. A pandemic of Zarat, a particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities in Grad proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came. It made people overthrow their governments. Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only...
It was a funny time in history. They discovered transistors and rock music, but they didn't know anything about prions. Nobody did.
From Revachol and Grad? Not far. The world managed to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in '08, and the Coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control. A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, the zone of control, is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the suzerain and the modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-Islary communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics. Meanwhile, in Revachol West...
51 minus 8 equals 40.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. '08 to '19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time in a long time, it was a market mirage fueled by cocaine and quantitative easing. The 40s dispelled it like a cold splash, an Isla-wide hangover, you might say. And here we are. Welcome to reality.
For her to be where she is, Wild Pines Group must have picked the right side.
They picked the winning side. That's why they're here, and others are not. Perhaps it wouldn't have turned out that way had I been in charge. I might have bet on the king and let the... I would have sided with the cannons. If you'd seen the calibers of the things, you might have too. Perhaps it's better I was born when I was. 10 of the 14 Indo tribes got it wrong. Feld, Kupri, Tricentennial. So I suppose I would have been... Good question. What would you have done differently? So a quarter of humanity simply lost their minds. And how would you stop a prion, a complex folding protein, unlife, with a technology 50 years ago? Good hygiene. Really. A very moderate solution to an extreme problem. It's those sort of When they failed to step up, Mazov and his party stepped in.
Opinions expressed here do not reflect the official position of the RCM.
And what is your official position?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position.
Understandable. They are what they are. Who knows? Anyway, enough sentimentality.
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations. I am an ultra.
She raises the corner of her mouth, smirking, revealing a canine.
An ultra-liberal. It's a type of liberal. From the revolution. It's, not the moderate kind. Haven't you heard? I am a nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. One of those who pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. I can see you thought I'd gone extinct. No sane person identifies as an ultra-liberal anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a centrist at heart. A real moralist. Tell me, now that I've...
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
That's a pity. I hope we can remain collegial despite it. Remember, we were partners, whether you like to admit it or not. When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinaise a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished sovereignty to the Coalition. Not here in Martinaise, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own sake.
She realizes her small, cold fists are clenched. She loosens them.
Then for my daughters. We had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isla down rather than let them have it. Yes, I suppose I am.
Seditious talk, man.
Perhaps. My intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself.
A smart boy getting smarter, one basic term of reality at a time. Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality? Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
На сегодня все. Спасибо, что смотрели. Ставьте лайки, подписывайтесь, пишите комментарии, нажимайте на колокольчик. До новых встреч. Пока-пока.